of your journey through law enforcement. This journey will be nothing like anything else that you've ever done. The challenges that you will face will be difficult, strenuous, and sometimes extremely exhausting. Some of you will make a career out of this. Some of you will only consider it to be a job. Whichever way you go, remember what it took you to reach this milestone today. When you reach this crossroads, think back, remember this moment right now. Think of the sacrifices that not only you made, but the sacrifices that your families made as well. This is your job, it's your career, and nobody else is going to look after you in your career and your job any better than you will. Over the past few weeks and months, you've had the opportunity to meet a lot of different people and instructors. Vanessa alluded to that, Brett, talking about the instructors that you've had over the course of this program. You will continue the network that you've started here at South Georgia Tech. The network of people who you will meet along the way in law enforcement. Some of them will pass on to you little nuggets of information, guidance, things like that. Some of them you just meet, pass, and you may not ever see them again until later on in your career. You might be working a case, and all of a sudden you see a friendly or familiar face, and you say, "Hey, I remember meeting you so wherever." But you've got somebody there that you can talk to. It's not the first time you've met them. Remember those people. Remember what they have to say, what they have to tell you, information they have to pass on to you that's going to help you along the way that you may not think anything about at the time, and it'll come back around to you. Always try to pass something on to your fellow officers. Try to do something for them. Try to help them in some way. Pass something on to them. Lieutenant Michael Sangster. Outstanding job with the check. I mean, congratulations to you guys about that. He was one of those officers for me. Michael I probably learned as much or more from him than he ever did from me. But he was one of those people, one of those officers. He was a cop's cop in every sense of the word. The guy just knew what to do, how to do it, when to do it. He understood the whole law enforcement idea. Strive, if you can, in your career to be that way. Try to pass something on. Try to leave something behind. Give somebody something that they can cherish, that they can use in their career. Look for something to be able to do for people. I hope you strive to make as big of an impact on law enforcement as he has, and many other people who have gone on in this career before you. Take some time to realize that there are people in this career, in this line of work, that take everything we do seriously. Communication. Communication is a big part of your career. Everything that lies ahead of you. This is going to be one of the most difficult things that you will do in your career, is communicate. Keeping the lines of communication open. Communicate with your family, your spouse, significant other, whoever it is that you find as your confidant. communicate with those people. Keep those lines open. Talk to them about things. Now, I don't mean you got to tell them every single thing that happens every day about your job and everything, but talk to them. Tell them, look, you know, I've got things going on. I had something happen just this week at work, a case we worked. And I had to share it with my wife. And I didn't share all the details with her, but I had to share some because it bothered me. Part of the case bothered me. And I had to share some things with her. Talk to people. Talk to the ones that's close to you. Talk to your loved ones. Let them know what's going on with you. Don't just shut down on them. And it's going to be very difficult for you to keep communicating with them. You'll want to shut down. You'll want to not talk about things, but you have to. You have to talk about things and get it out. Otherwise, if you keep it bottled up inside of you, one day it's going to be a time bomb and it'll go off. So remember that. And sometimes you just need somebody to talk to. Just have a normal conversation with that's not about work, may not be about anything in particular. Sometimes you just need somebody to have a normal conversation with that's not a bad guy. Find an outlet for yourself. Find a hobby, something that you can do to relieve stress. This job has plenty of it. There's no sense in you bringing any more with you. There's plenty of stress in this job. It's built right in. So don't bring any more with you. Figure out some way for you to get rid of that stress, some way to work through it. Remember that the people at home, they're on your side. They're on the same team. Okay? It's very easy to forget that. You might come home and forget that the person on the other side of the door, they're on the same team that you're on. Don't take it out on them. Leave the job behind. It's going to be tough, but you can do it. Always expect the unexpected. Be ready for anything at any time. A good friend, an instructor friend of mine, back when I was in the academy, said, what you think you got ain't always what you got. That's very true. More often than not, that will be true. What you think you got ain't always what you got. So be prepared for whatever can happen. Be fluid. Be ready to move from one situation to the other. Don't get locked into one way of thinking or one mindset. Always be around be aware of your surroundings. What's going on around you. Don't lock in on one particular thing. A couple of pieces of advice that I want to give you from past experience. There's some things that you do not need to have to explain in your career. Number one is you don't need to have to explain where your patrol car is. You should always know where it is. You will find out that there are some jokesters and pranksters in law enforcement. Try not to have to explain where your car is, and try not to have to explain where your gun is. That's two things that you may encounter in your career. Trust me. Never put anything on the roof of your patrol car that cannot withstand falling off at high rates of speed. And for sure, don't try not to let it be something that's very expensive that you're going to have to pay for out of your pocket so supervisors don't find out that you broke something. So try not to put something up there. Remember what you're putting on top of your car and go back and get it. If you find yourself lost in a foot pursuit or vehicle chase, run a couple of tags. If they come back with the same street address, chances are you might be back on the map. Just keep that in mind. This is experience talking, I'm telling you. Integrity is all that you have in this job. If you jeopardize or lose your integrity, you don't have anything else. your credibility will be gone at that point. And you will find out that integrity and credibility is two of the most important things that you will have in this job. And if you lose either one of those with fellow officers, your supervisor, the courts, you're not going to be a very effective officer without integrity and credibility. Be trustworthy. Don't be one of those officers who dabbles around in the gray area. Prison is probably not a good place for any law enforcement officer to be. But if you dabble around in the gray area, chances are you're going to end up there. You know what's right and wrong. You know what the law says. Each one of you has been through plenty of it and read over it, and you will, throughout the rest of your career, be reading law from now on. You know what it says. You know how to do things correctly. Don't get caught up in something. Keep a good head about you. Mark Twain once says, if you tell the truth, you will never have to remember anything. When the situation gets bad, always remember, tell the truth. No matter how bad you think it looks, tell the truth, then you won't have to remember what you told. You'll probably tell bad guys that more times than you care to remember when you get started in your career. You'll tell bad guys, if you just tell me the truth, man, it'll all be all right. We can work through it. Just tell me the truth. Remember that yourself. You're not going to make a lot of money in this profession. You'll meet a lot of really great people. You get some awesome opportunities, but you're not going to make a lot of money. Y'all probably heard that, what, a time or 12? Well, you're not. When you deal with people, be firm, but be fair. Treat everyone with the same respect that you want to be treated with. Keep your head out of the computer. Everything that will hurt you is outside of the car. So look around outside of the car, not keeping your head in the computer in the car all the time. See what's going on outside. You're not the first person to wear a gun and a badge. Don't try to change the world. You can't. I tried. Do your job. Do your part. But don't try to change the world. Don't try to let everybody know. New man in town. You'll meet the oldest one in the town if you go out with that attitude. If you give someone your word, stick to it. If you tell them this is what I want to do, then that's what you do. That's what you're expected to do. You don't always have to have the last word. You'll probably get it. In some way, whether they're signing the ticket or whatever it is, you'll get the last word. So don't try to get the last word in. You'll get it. Just be patient. Enjoy what you do. Remember officer safety, professionalism, and cover yourself. The last thing that I want to pass on to you is I thought about something that we wear all the time. Something we get up and put on every day, and that's the badge. And I thought about, what does the badge stand for? Why do we wear it? What is it all about? And I came up with this. B is for bravery. A is for admirable. D is for dedicated. G is for grateful. And E is for ethical. You should strive to be all of these things in your career. I wish you the best.